Hi all. So here is an antenna that I have designed and printed with a PLA and my 3D printer, which is a replica of a real antenna for satellite acquisition. The real one is a 6-meter wide dish. This one is only 20 centimeters width. That is a scale of 1/30. This antenna is equipped with two motors, one which is in the vertical axis and the other one on the horizontal axis. So you have the motion which is controlled both on azimuth, that is the angle from the dish to the north, and in elevation from 0 to 90 degrees on the dish. This control is done by an ESP32 MCU which is embedded into the basement. And this microcontroller is communicating with internet over Wi-Fi, or if you are in a location where the Wi-Fi is not available, then there is a communication with a smartphone with Bluetooth Low Energy. In order to work and to track a satellite, you need to feed the microcontroller with models of orbit of the satellite that you want to track. These models usually are provided by NASA and NORAD with two lines element. And inside the microcontroller you have an algorithm which is named SGP4, which is able to predict the location of any satellite for which you have provided the two lines element, and give in real time the position in the Earth of the flying satellite. So I have also written an application which is here. And for example, if you want to track the ISS, which is currently at 3,500 kilometers from my antenna, which is located here in Toulouse in France. So you have to follow this track, the blue line. So the orbit of the ISS is going under Australia and then climbing up to the States and then flying over Europe, right here in Spain. The footprint of the antenna is depending on the altitude of the satellite you want to track. So the ISS is a quite low orbit with 400 kilometers from the Earth, and so the acquisition circle is quite narrow. Anytime you want to track a satellite with a ground station, you have to follow the orbit, and whenever the satellite is entering into the footprint of the station, you can launch the acquisition, follow satellite, and track it and acquire the telemetry. Right now I am only following the track of the satellite. There is no acquisition of telemetry because it is only a plastic mock-up of an antenna. However, the motion of the antenna is really what is done in the real world with our antenna in space activities. So the tracking is done in the following manner. When you arrive at 1 minute from the acquisition of signal, then the antenna will move to the tracking position, that is from the north here to the west, and then it will track the satellite up to the southeast. So here the motion. So you can see that the antenna will be ready to acquire, and the acquisition will be launched within 37 seconds. I go back to the acquisition. So you will see that the ISS is flying over its orbit, and it is now entering the circle acquisition, and so the acquisition will start in less than 15 seconds. During the acquisition, the antenna will follow the satellite in real time. That is that the orbit is computed inside the antenna dish every millisecond, and the elevation and azimuth angles are computed and converted into steps for the stepper's motors to follow the motion. So now the dish, the circle is red. It means that the acquisition is ongoing. You have the distance here, which is from the station, which is located in my home in Toulouse, and the Google Map is drawing the acquisition, and the antenna is sending to the application the position, azimuth, altitude, distance, and time of since the acquisition, which is now 50 seconds. The dish is moving. I will probably let the acquisition go, stop to speak, and you will see the motion. For sure I will accelerate the motion in order to speed up a little the movie, but let's okay, let's go back to real time now, and we are entering into an interesting part of the pass. As you can see, the motion is now going on this direction, that is passing very close to the station, and the antenna will have to move from this direction to this one. And so this will speed up the rotation around the azimuth axis. And so here we are with the fastest motion of the antenna during the tracking. Bear in mind that this is a real-time motion, so there is no trick, and this is exactly how a regular antenna is behaving when acquiring a satellite. So the two motors are controlled by the dual cores of the ESP32. One core is pulsing the steps for the stepper motors, and the other core is performing the orbit propagation and the computation of the trajectory. So now we have passed just over my house, and the elevation will decrease again until we lose the satellite at the end of the acquisition. So now the antenna is more or less facing the south, and we will have to wait till 200 seconds more in order to finish the pass. I will probably stop the movie, but what is interesting is to see on the application that you can, if you want, you can jump to the next pass in order to speed up the time. You can also find a satellite that you want to acquire on the Celestrak site. So you just simply enter the name of the satellite you want to track, and it will give you the international designator number that you have to enter into the application. And then this list of satellite will be tracked automatically during the day. If you are located in an area where the Wi-Fi is not available, then the acquisition of the time and the acquisition of the two lines element cannot be performed by the microcontroller itself, but they will be sent by the smartphone via Bluetooth anytime you open the application. A two-line element has an accuracy of 1 or 2 kilometers on the track if they are fresh. If they are more than 1 day old, then the accuracy will decrease and go down to 3 kilometers the next day, and so on and so on. So you can still simulate the motion, but you will need a rather fresh two-line element in order to make a good acquisition. Okay, so this is probably the end of the video. We will not wait until the pass is finished, but you have got a good idea of how it works.